Okay, so we get to the end of another review video, and while I'm sure you've picked up that there were a few things I would have changed about the controller, not least of which I would have added a on-the-fly remap button just to make life much easier. I would have added the removable sticks because I still don't see why they changed that design feature from the first generation. Even if you only get one extra set of sticks and it's impossible to find replacements, I still think it would make the longevity of this controller go a little bit further, since you are paying admittedly a premium for this controller when compared to a default. It would have been nice to have that extra feature, which personally I feel like would make this controller last a lot longer, because these are soft rubber sticks which will without question of a doubt wear down over time, like every other stick does on every other controller. The menu and the share button, for me personally, I don't like them. They're too small and they're too out of the way. On the shoulders up here, you have to really stretch to get there, and it's not ergonomically designed at all. And lastly, the last kind of gripe I had with the product would be the unboxing of it. Whether they needed to just add one or two extra things inside of it, like improve the quality of the foam, make it a smooth finish rather than the rough textured unfinished look that it has now, or even just like a small little canvas green Razer branded bag that this would come in, rather than just having the controller placed down inside the hard foam, just kind of naked. It didn't feel like a very inspired packaging, which for a Razer product surprised me a little bit. Maybe this means that they're toning down their brand imaging without putting the RGB strip as obviously or even anywhere on the controller, keeping the packaging to a toned down level. It might indicate that their brand is toning down a little bit, but for me personally, I went in expecting flashy Razer V2 after having seen their marketing for the controller as well. It just seemed like it was a successor to the Wolverine V1, but obviously from the moment you unbox it, you start realizing that it is a more entry-level product rather than the high-end flagship product. So the few gripes that I had obviously caused it to lose some points, but the positives of this controller vastly outweigh the negatives. It doesn't have any competitors because of just where it's priced and how it's spec'd in the market. But if you compare it to the high-end Wolverine Ultimate Editions and the high-end Microsoft Elite Series 2 controllers, which retail for 4,000, 3,500 Rand around there, or the default Microsoft controllers, which 1,400 Rand down to 1,000 for the entry-level PDP third-party controllers, it just sits almost in the middle perfectly, while offering more features than the standard controllers. It has a much easier to stomach price point than the higher end controllers, which I'm sure some people just cannot justify spending that much money on a controller, which is almost a large percentage of the price of a new console. So the few things that it did get scored down on weren't that bad if you look back on the controller. And personally, to sum it all up, I don't feel like I could recommend this controller to anyone enough. If you're looking for a new controller for your old Xbox One console, this is a perfect upgrade that will transition perfectly into the Series X or Series S in the future if you're looking to upgrade. If you've already got a Series X or a Series S console and maybe you're looking for a second controller, this will become your primary controller and the default one will become your spare or secondary controller. It's just that good. I feel like Microsoft could learn a thing or two about this controller, and if they're going to release maybe an upgraded model of the Xbox default controller, they can add these extra buttons here. It's obviously a change to the way the general console controller buttons are laid out, but it is such a game changer. I feel like that's how consoles should be done, or console controllers should be done in the future moving forward. So to sum it all up, the controller gets an 80 out of 100. A few negatives, but basically the positives vastly outweigh any kind of negatives you can have, and at that price point, it's almost a no-brainer, basically. So I think that's it for the review, guys, and I'd just like to say thank you to Yanni and to the guys at Apex Interactive again for giving me this chance after a bit of a break. And I would like to reinforce that you guys need to watch the Facebook page to figure out how to win and how to get involved in this competition. And I hope you guys all stay safe and stay healthy and stay gaming, and I will catch you soon.